Is this thing working, guys? Anybody in here yet? Don't look like it. Get this camera set up. Alright, looks like I got 3 people on there. Is this thing working? Somebody let me know. Sweet. Thanks. Alright, I'm not going to read the comments. I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to be puttering around out in the shop on the 2149. The 395 is done. I got a test run it and stuff. Actually made a video, like a half-hour video doing a muffler mod on it. It's currently uploading to YouTube. So I should be working on either that 660 or that other 395, but when I started this, I kind of want to get this done. So all my parts come in. I believe I've got everything. So I think I'm going to start off with getting the chamber cut. I guess I'll take you guys along with the complete setup on how I do this. Now this is all currently set up for that 395 I did. So I'll take it apart, pull these rings off. If I recall, you don't need rings for that bar. So I'm going to just run over here and rub this up and down on some sandpaper. Somebody's sending me a message. That should be good enough. It was pretty sharp. That should be good enough. All I did was block the two to try to bring that edge back just a little bit. So when I set Dino Joe's chamber cutter up, I'm just going to be doing a flat band cut in this one, so that where I can still somewhat move it. Just set my depth first. I'm way far out for that. And straight edge up. Finger holding pressure on that bit. I'll show you what I'm doing. So now this is set. Now we got to set the depth. And way high. Makes sense because this was set for that 395. Normally I do this sitting down, but we'll just do it standing up. One of these razor blades is 25 thou thick, and the other one is 20. So I'm going to set it to cut 45 thou out. Some keys where they're expanded. Double check where are my calipers. That's what I want to cut out of this. So now the chamber cutter is set up. And let's see here. My vise is a ways away. I don't think I can zoom in. I guess I'll unplug you from the charger. I think I was at like 60% on the. Let's take you over here. Set you guys up. It's been quite a while since I've done a live. Actually decent enough to come out here and do something. So somebody said it's working. 2 thumbs up. Yep. Greetings from Romania. Said hi. Well, hopefully everybody's having a good day. I'm gonna open the door. Need some heat. So this ends badly. There's no editing on a live that I'm aware of. So I'm going to shut my compressor off so that can kick on. So total spur of the moment. I'd always like the cutter to face me. Refit down good so it's nice and solid. You can bolt that to a desk or something too. And you know, it's still got all the carbon and stuff inside it. Got 22 viewers. I appreciate it very much, guys. I like to hold it to me, come down, push back and down. This is a 346 cylinder, the new edition, not the OE. Okay, I'm going to lift that off because it felt weird. I got 80 gallons of air, so we should be able to get this done. Start back where I left off. Hopefully this isn't too boring, but it's just like not any much content for you guys. I feel bad about it. Been quite a while since I built the 346. I'm not going crazy on it. I want to build a good strong work saw out of it. Probably going to go low roof on it. Probably like a 105, maybe a 106, somewhere in there. I know somebody said to run a copper penny, but I don't have one here. Use my file. Almost for all the hash and trash. I end up having to sand it. She'll probably end up about 50 out of the band. I think the little cylinders cut easier than the big ones. Of course, you know, I guess there's less leverage when you're trying to turn it. There's a big bruise. As crunchy as this is looking, we're probably going to have to sand this one. Sometimes they cut smooth, sometimes it's like a grain or wood or whatever. Grab my ruler just to make sure my bit didn't move. I've been meaning to come in and put a second set screw to help hold that cutter. But never get around to it. I've been pondering going dual outlet exhaust out the front of this or just one single. I haven't made my mind up yet. I'm awfully odd. Crumbly aluminum. About halfway. Not really, it's kind of crumbling. I'm not really getting chips. Hopefully my internet don't drop. It's been doing that lately. But still looks like it's still working. I don't think this one would have cut good on the lathe either. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to do some sanding and clean up on it. Polish it up. We'll get it though. I've had worse, I've had better. That one sounded a lot better there. Got a few chips there. Actually got sweat rolling down my back. It's so hot in here. The door's wide open. I filled that stove full of hickory. Making some heat. I think there's one piece of oak in here, but it was mostly hickory. And I'm just getting powder. Some cylinders are that way. Yeah. Can't even get some of that box down there, so I'm gonna hurt my winter parts off. When you get one that fights you, it almost makes you wonder if you wish you had chose to just cut 30 or something out, but I know these things run really good with 45 to 50 cut out of the band, so I'm gonna stick to what I know works. What I'm doing in here is just going around and knocking any stuff that's kerneled up on the side. I can't remember when the last time I built it. 346. I think it was that 42 millimeter old edition. Or maybe it was a 350 I converted, I can't remember. When they put up a fight like this, it makes it slow going. Well, that bite took some kernels there. I think there's a hard spot that I'm coming around and skipping off from. You just keep twirling, eventually you get past it. Or through it, however you want to look at it. This Joe cutter has been an awesome investment. I've used the piss out of it. We're getting close now. A high spot. Freeze up. Comes around right there. A high spot again. Double check when I got one putting up a fight, because I definitely don't want my tool scooting in and cutting this all up. When I can actually see the spot in there where it's hitting on. Touching there. So. I've had some farmer techs put up real fights with. It's almost like they had, like maybe they recasted some of their, bolted down their cylinders that had nickel cylinder or whatever in it, made it into their chamber. And I've had other ones just cut just as easy as butter. I'll keep twirling around until I don't get any contact. So right there it free spins. And then I'm hitting here. That's a high spot. I keep skipping over. Big old gnarly piece. As this gets more wore out, I'm either going to have to chuck this up in the lathe someday and turn this down thinner, or take it off and flip it over the other way. Or make a steel shim that I can just slide over it. I've probably cut 200 chambers on this thing, maybe more. And know, I went through 6 or 7 bits. Dang hard spot. We're getting there. I'm really, really close. It's only hitting one spot though. I don't know, maybe this was a poor choice to do a live on cutting the chamber. I didn't have so much crap over piled up and blocking on the lathe. This would might have been better to cut on the lathe. But it took me 45 minutes to dial it in on the lathe and 2 seconds to cut it. It's getting there. Hard chunk out, whatever that was. Touching there, right there. Turn off a clip. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Cut there just cleaned it up quite a bit. Still got that on. You can feel it raise up. Take off from it. So you just keep twirling it around. Past it. Now this will all be pretty much all OEM, but the bearings, the gaskets, and the clutch. That big honking hard piece I took out. Get those hard parts out and then it'll cut a lot nicer. Wonder if this from being used hot and cold might have heat treated part of that aluminum or something. Chunk of that hickory just fell down in the stove. A lot better. There's that one. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a hard spot right there. It's like it just wants to skip up and over it. So trim that down some. Might have to sand that one down. I took a big chunk of it out right there. Can't have your top of your chamber all lumpy and bumpy like that, because if you set your squish tight, you can have one spot that wants to hit. I just nibbed a piece of it off. It's just getting better. There's just the two spots and they're straight across from each other. See, I'm not hitting just one little tiny spot. And it's starting to look a lot better now. Just looking at to sand it. Down right there. Yeah, it's finally doing something. It's looking way better. Looking way better, guys. One little catch around there. Every time I come around, it's getting less and less. And it's funny, it's the exhaust side too. She's looking way better. It's actually starting to get little curls now instead of powder. squirrels, and then I'll see if I got a piston with some sandpaper on it. So I'm not getting shavings anymore, so we'll roll all the way down. That's the final cut. Looks pretty good. You could probably run that. Let's see what I got sitting around for polishing apparatuses here. And what I did was I changed the angle. You can see my flat band, and then it goes to an angle right there. I broke this edge, kind of like you do a valve job. I like a flat one. I think it's only 346s is it? Oh, I would have to show the piston flipper around. But I did clean house and got a bunch of stuff. Piston don't catch. Break that sharp edge off the inside there. Let's head back over here. It's a lot cooler here where the door is. My piston does not catch up at all in there. So, the next step . Piston on. I'm gonna blow my hands off so you can see metal. I'll spray this out. That's a brand new bottom end. let's see what we got for squish. And that will let me know what I gotta cut off the base. Just got a preliminary. That was knocking my piston stop over. I only put 2 in to test it. We're gonna need pretty thick solder. I'll do my final read from the side, but just to get my $60. Well, I'm gonna cut 40 off the band. I'm not running a gasket, so I'll have to measure that gasket. I'm not sure. I don't remember what them are. So I'll have to figure that into what I got to cut off the skirt as well. I'm just gonna throw my wheel on it while I got that jug bolted down. Let's see that. I have other brass rods that I make up as well for this, but going off that inside stud works for, I don't know, 90% of the saws I do. Grab a wrench. Kind of tweak a little bit from where I bent it around for that 395. I hate how tipsy these 346s are. So as long as I don't bump anything, now I'm zeroed. I know my rough cut's 40 thou. Now, it's been a while. I could have swore the Husqvarna's had fine thread bolts that went down through. This Johnson Red, everything looks like plastic screws. I don't know if that's normal or not, but not real fond of that. I wonder if they did it to cut down on production or something. They could just self-tap them right in. And I ordered, they came in, I bring them out here, and they said, no, I can't find them, but I ordered decomp plugs. I bought 5 of them. Seems like I always. So, let's see here. I guess you guys are going to get more snow for you and me tonight. Could be it was spitting snow earlier. What's the Jim Beam about? Sore tooth. I got a sore gum or tooth. I just swish that around a little bit. I'm going to try to plug this in. Alright. Here's charging. I'm going to go around to the other side of the lathe. Cluster. I don't really have a good way to get you guys over here. I've ruined so many gauges by dropping them or knocking them off. not a machinist by any means. Broke the one I normally use for this. Oh, I can live with that. That is half thou. I'm totally fine with that. Especially in this lathe. So I'll find my bit. Always make sure you tighten that down. I've made that mistake more times than I know what to do with my sword. This mandrel just slightly undersized. There's tape. Need a razor blade. I recall, I think it's one tooth I need on this. I do that so I don't change the that'll probably be good enough. I'm totally fine with that. this is an exhaust rotator cup off a small block Chevy. Works awesome for doing this kind of stuff. Got a blister in the palm of my hand from doing that chamber cut. I'm gonna get my safety glasses on. See up close what I got going on. Just read some glass cleaner out. Shut my door too. So I guess you guys are hanging out with me in the shop tonight. So what I'm going to do is turn it on, bring in, so just ever so slightly kisses, and a little farther, but I'm going to call that my 0. Set this dial indicator up. Try not to knock it off. Zero my indicator. Check, make sure it's tight. About 15 thou right there. I should have changed my carbide out. That carbide is getting pretty bad. I actually chipped it just a little bit with a 395. chip carbide, I'll take it. That looks pretty decent. Can I get this in there to cut? Oh man, I didn't. The mandrel's not far enough, so. I don't have a bearing floating around here somewhere. Fell down here somewhere. Where the hell did my bearing go? I don't know, it's sitting right up here. Right here, right? I don't have to be as crucial in this part because all I'm doing is trimming the skirt. That skirt can be a little lopsided. So what you make no matter on that thing. There's my zero. Here's what I cut off the base. I was trimming that skirt out. I guesstimated at what I figured the gasket was. Now I'm going to point you guys over there. I'm not going to unplug you because it needs to charge. But I got to taper this. I guess we'll try one of my new bits. Feels weird having a brand new truck. It's just not wore in yet. that bearing had some adhesive glue residue on it, and it's stuck to the top of the chamber. Spray some lube on there and rub that out. I can switch over to my normal glasses now, so I'm fumbling around like an idiot. And re-clean. There is the base cut, and I just put that chamfer right in there. And there's the chamber cut. I am late. What's on the lathe? 346 cylinder for the 2149 build. And I must have guessed right, because that is sitting all the way down. Let's check my squish and see how bad my math was. Might have to box this back up and wait a day for my hand to heal. Apparently I couldn't take 2 chamber cuts in the same day. Probably could have avoided it if I'd wore gloves, but get a gasket. What was causing that? That was on the way down. What did I do? Oh, just the flywheel. I had forgotten about that. Hopefully it left a scuffy mark so I know where I got to sand. I'll show you guys here in a second. There's this big, I don't know what you want to call it. But it's hitting right there. I can either cut it off the flywheel or do what I normally do. And just for some clearance. over. You know, says you came in real late, but it's late's better than never. I think the lives get posted where you can watch them even after they're over. I know I don't delete them, unless Facebook does. I mean not Facebook, but YouTube. We're not hitting now. Awesome. Let's find my thinner solder. Right, 25 where I wanted to be. I changed the angle of that, you know, where it's flat, and then it changes about 5 thousandths, and then again it changes 5 thousandths again. Just what I was after. So, totally fine with 25 thou for a work saw. I could have cut another 5 thou off and still been safe. I guess let's see where the numbers are at now that the machine work is done. And that will give me an idea. I always like to check it when it's coming down. That shuts the port off. We're at 70, 76. That is not bad at all. We're sitting at we're at 110, so I only got to raise it 5 degrees to get it to where I want it there. Intake landed. By the time I clean that port up and reshape it, it'll be right where I want it. But about 129 on the transfers, so I want them at 120. So, yeah, that's a good start anyway. I got this clutch, the needle bearing, and the outer piece all for $14 on Amazon, like $14.99 or whatever. I'm going to try it with this carb first. If not, I'm gonna. I got a brand. I think it's still in the house. I didn't bring it in. If not, I got a brand new aftermarket carb. I really want to stick with the OEM carb if I can. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good jump on it. This live's probably getting pretty long, so I think I'm gonna jump behind the camera and try to read some of the comments. But I think that's a pretty good start. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It says I got 25 of you still watching. Did you guys enjoy the live or no? I don't know how to scroll through this. Somebody donated $5, it looks like. I don't know. I can't see all the comments. I don't know who did that, but whoever did that, thank you. So, I will be dropping, it should be uploaded by now, but that 395 is done. The muffler's drying. I did a video earlier today of showing how I did the muffler mod on that from start to finish. I think it's like a half-hour long video, and that'll be getting dropped tonight as soon as I'm off here. I still got to run that blacked out 500i. That gentleman's supposed to be sending me, I think, 3 more saws. We're doing some horse trading, I think. They've not showed up yet. Another gentleman's 4910 showed up. It's sitting on my kitchen table, and my buddy dropped off a pretty nice specimen of us. MS 660. He wants the beans poured to that. So he's I don't know how you want to. He's the other grandpa. We share a grandkid together. And I've done him a few 500Is, and he bought this off Marketplace. Really nice shape saw. He switched out the air filter cover with one that he had holes drilled in it, but he thought he was going to be able to tune on the carb on that and get that would hang with or beat my 500Is I built him. And he brings it over and says 500Is smashed it in the dirt. So he said, do my thing to it. So we're going to pour I'm going to try to pour the beans to that one and make that one a super stout saw. Because he says he's only going to buck with it every now and then and just pull it out and horse around with. Because he's logging with the 500Is consistently. So I got into building a 500i since I didn't think I'd be able to get you to do it. Well, sorry I couldn't do it for you. I probably could have took it on in a month or two. But, send me a Facebook message if you need any tips on it or whatever. You'll have a better sense of accomplishment if you do it yourself. The 500s are easy to port and easy to get power out of. Somebody asked what carb this is. It is a Walbro HDA. I don't have a carb kit for it. My shop, if I recall, from that wall to behind where the cabinets are to that wall, I think was 20 feet. And from that wall to that wall is 23 feet. And my ceiling is maybe 7 foot, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Pretty small shop. But, I wouldn't mind having a bigger one, but that ain't never going to happen. It's easy to heat. It's all insulated all the way around me, except for what used to be the sliding door. That used to be a sliding door. I ain't used it in years. I've got it all secured and locked down, but that door is not insulated. But the walls and my ceilings are, and that whole corner back there is not insulated. I actually left the insulation out of there and just put the metal up, just so that corner would stay cooler and I wouldn't have to worry about like burning my shop down or whatever. Yeah, it's my garage sale special stove. It I didn't want to put a hole through my ceiling and then out my brand new roof that's on the garage, so I went out a busted window. Just cut out a piece of steel where the broken window was. That's smart. What's smart? The not insulating around the backside of the stove there. Today I feel much better than I have in the well, probably in the last 4 or 5 days. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought if I got heat, if it was insulated, the heat could just keep building up, building up, building up. And same with that. Same with this. This is actually cold to the touch because this is just a piece of sheet metal, and it's straight out the outside. I did that, and I also wrapped metal around so nothing can fall behind the walls, and this tin is wrapped around too, because I didn't, just in case something ever got hot and fell out of there. This is that stainless triple wall pipe, but the metal is warm, from the heat of the stove, but it's, you know, it cools down quick. So I don't know. That was just something I was thinking of. I don't have insurance, so if the place burns down, I'm screwed. They won't insure me because I heat with wood, or I can't afford the insurance that they want to charge you because you heat with wood. I've only ever built one 562, if I recall. I think it was like 6.5 horse, 6.8, something like that. I can't remember. My buddy John had it. I did some horse trading with him. Built it, did a couple videos on it. To be honest, I really didn't like it. He played with it and wanted it back, so we did some horse trading back, and he loves the thing. The only Huskies I've got left right now is my 9 horse 372. I've got an Iron Horse 372, and I got a 365, and I got a parts pile 372 that I'm going to build someday. And I guess if you want to call this J Red, a 346. I got my 550. Forgot about that. But I really don't have a lot of Husqvarnas. Ported or stock for a good size 60cc. If you're not gonna have it ported, it's hard to beat the 620. Um, they'll pull a 27-inch bar stock. Uh, Ported price point, it's still hard to beat a 620, but if you're going for absolute speed, um, man, that's a hard one. I'd almost say piss on it and get the 400, the 67 edition. Them things are monsters. It's it it does a 620 does benefit just ever so slightly. The stock gasket's only 12 thousandths thick on them, so um, it yeah. And if you go to Porta 620, my work saw builds on them. My favorite build on them 620s is you pitch the gasket, which is 12 thousandths, and then you shave just a little bit more to set the squish at 20. You open the lowers the best you can. They're kind of weird, and then do a little taper on them. And then I moved the exhaust to 102. I moved the transfers to 125, and an extensive muffler mod, and either put a Redbeard or an A2D filter setup on it, and that's my favorite build. I've only got one 620 left, and they'll make 7 horse at doing that. No chamber work. Can't go wrong with a 400 ported. Even the work ones I've done for people, um, I get nothing nothing but positive feedback from the guys that are out there putting their 400s to the real world. They'll pull a 36 too. At least mine does. I think I've done videos with my work builds pulling a 36. Yeah, I like the Redbeard filter, and I really like Alex's A2D filter setup for the 620s. Love them for the 4910s. If you don't like doing foam filters, though, the A2 is the way to go. The downside with the 620 is they're a little on the heavy side, but they're very durable. 359. The what 359s I have had ported, they worked really well. 036 is an awesome saw ported. Smitty's got my old one. That thing was a runner. A little faster in the cut than the 620, but doesn't have the long bar power that the 620s do. Um, Truth be told, I really don't run a lot of 60cc saws. My 4910s hang right with, if not stomp, most 60cc saws in the dirt, so I just run the 50cc's for my 60s. Even in the Husky version, I would much rather run my 6-horse 550 over any 562. Anybody else have any questions? I see I'm down to, I think, 13 or 18 viewers. 18. The light was shining on where the numbers were. Yes, 261s are an awesome little saw too. Unfortunately, I've sold all mine. The 4910 is just an awesome, robust little saw and can be dual purposed for play or work. The tree services that I've hooked up with 4910s, I've got some beating the crap out of them for going on 4 or 5 years now, and zero problems. If there is a problem, it's customer induced, like they smashed the saw or dropped it, ran it over, ran straight gas in it, something like that. I've never ran a 555, so I really can't comment. I think it's just like a 562, I think. I honestly hate the Rancher, guys. In fact, I turn, unless it's more than a carb tune, I turn every Rancher down that gets sent my way to that people want worked on. The 4910s have been discontinued, yes. They're getting harder and harder to find new ones. And the used ones that are popping up, people are wanting more than new price for, so yeah. But the downside is, I mean, the upside, you can still get a 501, but last I checked, I think they were over $700 now out the door, which is ridiculous. But I mean, I think it's like 750 now for a 261, and I personally think the 501's a better saw than the 261. Not stock for stock. Stock, it's, the Echoes always get beat up on stock. Other than the 620, the 620 kind of holds its own stock. I paid 7 something for my 550, and it was at a farm store. Set my glasses down here so I can keep reading these. I'm trying to remember the name of that farm store I bought my 550 at. Family Farm and Home, I think, is what it was, where I bought it at. I bought my 550 right when they were having that shortage. I couldn't get a deal on it or nothing. Anybody else have any questions? If you look through my videos, there is a video I show of how to cut a base. I actually think I did it on the video, using, if it's like a poke through cylinder, like let's see if I got the thing sitting around here. No. Might have loaned that out to my buddy. Oh, it's down, buried down here in my 4910. You just take a piece of steel like this, slap some sticky sandpaper on it, cut it out. That way your base can sit down in it, and then you can twirl it around like that and cut your base. And then to cut the skirt, you know, you can do that. It's really, I mean, it's very, 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 very time consuming. But if you're determined enough, it can be done. I showed a video doing, I think it was a 372. Building it without being able to do machine work. Did it all by hand. Yeah, I actually made a complete video on that because I had people telling me that it couldn't be done. Almost anything that you can do on a machine, if you're determined enough, you can do it by hand. You just got to think outside the box a little bit. Yeah, you can pick up a piece of steel or aluminum and go to a machine shop or something and have them machine the top and bore a hole in it for you. I've seen guys cut bases with files. And cut their chamber with a wooden dowel. I think it was a wooden dowel and a hacksaw blade, if I remember right. Well, guys, I'm going to call it a video out here. 80 grit will work. Anywhere between 120 and 80. That's one of the hardest parts about porting, is mirroring your images on from one side to the other. I don't know if I've ever done a video on it, but I try, I don't know if it comes off on video, but I try extremely hard to make the transfers mirror images of each other. Yeah, it was good chatting with you too. Alright guys, thank you so much for dropping in. Hopefully you had fun hanging out. I'm going to end this video if I can figure out how to end it. I think. Maybe. Hope you guys have a good night.